Happy Tuesday, and welcome to the Ram Ashram Satsang practice session, where you'll learn a modern Satsang method for obtaining peace, light, and love in your life. My name is Eddie, and I will be introducing the facilitator for today's event. But first, I'd like to give you a brief overview of this Satsang session. If you direct your attention towards your screen, you'll see the first element is Satsang. Satsang is a scientific method whereby we may obtain peace, light, and love in our life. It requires no physical skill, spiritual accomplishment, or meditation experience to begin its practice. Satsang consists of two words, Sat and Sang. Sat means positive energy, and Sang means to be with or to be in the presence of. Therefore, the word Satsang means to be in the presence of positive energy. The next element is meditation. Meditation is an important part of Satsang. When we meditate, we withdraw consciousness from worldly objects and direct it inwards to focus on a single thought. In doing so, our minds become calm and our thoughts become pure, thereby allowing us to obtain higher states of consciousness, such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. Inner orientation. There are two types of Satsang, inner Satsang and outer Satsang. An example of outer Satsang would be chanting or attending pilgrimages. When we practice outer Satsang, we have the potential to change our behavior, but only through the practice of inner Satsang can we obtain higher states of consciousness, such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. The Satsang that you will learn today is an inner Satsang where we meditate in silence. Group session. These practice sessions are structured for group participation. When we meditate as a group, our focus is improved and our personal progress along our spiritual path is expedited. By regularly attending these practice sessions, the benefits of group participation are amplified. Joy and inner happiness. All beings wish to experience joy. Joy is the eternal longing of the soul, but only through the practice of inner Satsang can we obtain a joyous state. Each time we practice Satsang, our inner happiness gradually increases, ultimately culminating in a state of joy. The agenda for today consists of 3 sessions: the informative session, the practice session, and the interactive session. During the informative session, a lecture will be given about a Satsang topic, the founder, or some relevant spiritual topic. During the practice session, you'll receive instructions on how to meditate, followed by a period of practice. During the interactive session, you have the opportunity to ask questions, or there'll be a panel discussion. And now, I'd like to introduce the facilitator for today's event. He has over 40 years of Satsang experience. He is the grandson of Guru Maharaj, the founder of Ram Ashram Satsang. He was born into a Satsang family where he experienced his family members obtain states of enlightenment and lead lives of peace, light, and love. At an early age, he began traveling with the mission throughout India, facilitating satsangs. And during that time, he witnessed the positive effects that satsang could have on mankind. And upon arriving to the United States, Bhathi and his wife continued to facilitate satsangs for local satsangees. He has led teams of satsang members in translating important satsang literature into English and has worked tirelessly to make satsang more accessible to Western and English-speaking audiences. He currently travels throughout the United States, India, and England facilitating satsangs while maintaining his duties as a husband, a father, and an IT executive. Today, he will teach us a rare and ancient form of satsang as taught by Guru Maharaj. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Sanjeev Kumarji.
So happy Tuesday, everyone. Glad that we are here in Satsang. And I actually wanted to talk about 2 things. So talking about travels, or 2 things before we talk about the topic for today. So one was the travels. So I'll be in India for an event in my hometown of Jaipur. So that's 15th, 16th, 17th. So I think 13th, Saturday, so basically 3 Saturdays and possibly 2 or 3 Tuesdays. But this time I will make as much effort as I can make to attend these sessions, or at least try to provide a recording or something, which keep it as seamless and as unaffected as possible. Most probably 13th, I should be able to easily join. After that, we'll see. Sometimes the time there for the Tuesday sessions is fairly early in the morning, but I'll try my best. And a second topic is also, some of the communication and that I want to ramp up, still in the works. So what I've decided is that every month there will be a theme, and for every theme there will be like 4 topics. So each week, one topic is being discussed. So, without saying it in those many words, last month was inner peace, and now we are moving towards 5 steps to inner peace. Basically, to understand the journey, to understand the milestones of, from being totally materialistic to being in the target state of love, light, and peace, with abundance and with the ability to share effortlessly. So that state, when and how do you get? So what are the milestones? How do you progress through it? So that would be the topic for the entire month, and hopefully we'll have enough discussion on this topic, because I have recorded several videos, and I have talked about this at length, but the whole idea is that kind of soon I'll have on these topics, like each topic there will be a booklet that kind of introduces the concept and then goes into some details. So on that note, so if we go to understand the 5 steps to inner peace, where I was trying to explain to someone recently that when we talk about peace here, because I think we all, in any of these realms, any of these steps, we do get glimpse or a momentary, or maybe even somewhat lasting sense of peace. So it's not that people, in different realms do not, get to be peaceful, at least for some time, or but the peace that we're talking about is, the definition of peace according to Guru Maharaj is the land where there are no good or bad desires, because if you when you fulfill that desire, you get a high. When you are unable to get to the what you're thinking about in terms of your desires, then you get a low. So, and you keep oscillating between these lows and highs, and that becomes that process itself takes you away from peace, because you're oscillating rather than being grounded and calm and in that state which is even keel. So this piece that we're talking about, the inner peace, is where there is so much abundance that anybody who comes in contact with you, not only feels it, but gets a piece of it. As I was describing this pyramid or these 5 realms, I also realized that there is a sequence of things. So what's the sequence? The first, the realm of the world, eat, drink, be merry, security and survival, me is the state there. Giving could be done, but, one, it will be, it's not an integral part of your, you know, psyche, so to say. Later, so intuition keeps increasing as you move up. Your conscience or inner voice becomes from very feeble to your ability to really hear it loud and clear. All that increases. At the top of the pyramid, so we'll talk a little bit more about that, but what I wanted to initially say is that how you perceive the world changes as these realms change. And there are 2 concepts that you need to understand as you want to understand this journey. So first concept is that there are outer events in the world, and then there are inner states within. And those inner states depend on where you are. So how you feel, how you react to the world events, which are outside, so how you react and how you feel within depends on where you are on these realms. At the bottom versus the top, there is a stark contrast in terms of how you perceive the world, how you react to the world, how you how you feel internally. So as one of the tenets of Guru Maharaj is that as you spiritually grow, your inner happiness grows. So your inner happiness, which is not tied to anything outside in the world, it's inner happiness, which is almost like when nothing outward is happening to pull you up or down, where you, what's your, state then, that would be the state of inner happiness. And that keeps on rising as you rise through this pyramid. The other concept is that, we keep moving in time. So, current moment becomes a past, and then future is yet to come. So we just keep moving horizontally in time. This is a vertical climb. So we need to differentiate the horizontal movement versus the vertical. So a lot of times we think that as we grow, we will become better human beings, smarter human beings, et cetera, et cetera. But I think based on this, journey, spiritual journey, or these 5 steps to inner peace, which is a model that is pretty well documented as Panchkosh Vidya in Upanishads, which was, thousands of years ago. There is lot of discussion about this in, you know, within the context of meditation or spiritual journey, or even some of the recent books I have seen, similar things, including the Maslow's hierarchy, which is on the other side of this pyramid that I have just, but there is a difference, and I think the difference essentially is, yes, we have safety needs and we have psychological needs, and then it keeps going further up, but self-actualization is at the top of the realm. So it's not that far off, but it's not exactly one-to-one either. Now, if I was to just completely, so I'll repeat some of this on Saturday, but if I was to just completely dumb it down, the sequence here is the realm of the world, tone your body. Realm of life, life is like your breathing. You can't, if you don't breathe for a few, seconds, few minutes, it's a matter of life and death. So realm of life is more about breathing. So tone your body, tone your breathing, and realm of mind, so tone your mind. And then realm of knowledge, which is tone your brain. And the realm of love is tone your identity, your ego. So this essentially has a sequence in the sense that, for example, to meditate, you should be able to sit still. You should be able to concentrate. To do that, you need to have a body that is, able to do that. You need breathing, because concentration and breathing has some integral effect there. And what you find is that your brain function is clouded by your emotions. It's affected by your lows and highs. So until and unless you tone your mind first, your brain functions and brain capabilities would not come to the next level until and unless you do that. So that's the other thing. And once your brain function, it literally, like, and there is discussions in neuroscience research now on neuroplasticity, etc. So when your behavior, your behavior affects your brain, and your brain affects, state affects your behavior. So what happens is that when you get to the realm of knowledge, you're hardwired differently. And that, more effective, efficient functioning of your brain then affects your ability to perceive the world in a whole new way. And that creates this sense of oneness, where your unconditional love, the giving, unconditional giving, even harmlessness to all, which is, you are so accessible, you are so, there is no ulterior motives left. So people just trust you, rely on you in a whole new way. And that's invisible leadership, where you're not forcing or, oppressing, but your leadership is just, by being who you are. And people follow because they see how love, light, and peace is, not just in abundance in you, but the way it is affecting your behavior, affecting everything around you, and the way you connect with people and all that as well. So, Yuan, if you could bring the Earth's atmosphere, I actually, when I started thinking about this spiritual journey, Earth, which is the realm of the world, and then there are these 5 spheres, the atmosphere. It's the interesting part. There are. It's not just oxygen, right? It's like multiple things within the Earth's atmosphere, and so there are 5 layers here as well, and at the top of this, basically, the satellites, can freely go around the Earth's, they can go around the Earth freely without any effort. So the gravitational pull. So you basically, you get free from gravity, and your quote unquote moksha or nirvana happens once you get through these 5 layers. One thing about these layers is that each one is of a different size. So that pyramid doesn't show that, like, the realm of mind, Manomaya Kosh, is the longest, the biggest one, and some of the other ones are, much, much smaller, relatively speaking. And Yuan, so the next one just describes the target state, which is where we want to be. So what Guru Maharaj says is that we start in the realm of mind. So basically, the lower 2 are skipped because one, as soon as you decide you want to meditate, you have already crossed the realm of world, and you're vertically progressing, at least directionally speaking. And the realm of life is where, so I would refer back to what Eddie talked about, the inner meditation and outer. So inner satsang and outer satsang, or inner meditation and outer activity-based meditation. So if you do breath work, for example, it starts at the realm of life. It will, as you progress, you will go up to the realm of mind and further up. Here, when we meditate in silence on transcendental light, we are beyond any activity. So activity-based meditations are in the realm of life. More mind control or mind focused meditation, or inward oriented meditation activities, where you have now done. So what happens is, like, if you think about like chanting, or when you're doing some activity at a certain stage, you see, even with breath work, if you do it right, you get these to the next stage where you are concentrating, or you are the activity ceases and you are inward oriented. So when you get to that state, you are in the realm of mind. And what Guru Maharaj says is that we start here in the realm of mind, and because you get better control on the mind, you would be able to get better control on your well-being, including your health and physical health, as well as breathing gets regulated when you're deep in meditation. So the other two are covered as well. Once you get to the top of the realm of mind, which is a long journey, that's where you start on a cruise control. So realm of knowledge and realm of love are, also called like solar phases of the journey, where you have light of your own. So realm of knowledge is where you get the light, and then love, and then peace. So I'll pause here. Let's practice, and then we can talk more. So inward orientation and concentration, that's where we start. So sit in a relaxed posture, eyes lightly closed, both, our steps towards, less distractions of the mind, and looking inwards. And then you feel the presence, feel that right here, right now, you have this transcendental energy in form of light, and that light is entering your heart, distributing throughout your body, and you're becoming one with this light. When mind wanders away, bring it back to this thought and this thought alone, that this transcendental energy in form of light is in front of you. It's entering your heart, enlightening it, and then distributing throughout your body, and you're getting totally immersed in this light. You're becoming the light. When mind wanders away, which it will, it's natural, you bring it back. So that's inward orientation again. And you bring it back to this thought and this thought alone, that this transcendental energy in form of light is in front of you, entering your heart, distributing throughout your body, and you're becoming one with this light. We'll start with music that helps the concentration, and then music fades away, and then you go deep into silent meditation, and then we'll transition out with music again. Let's start now. Happy Tuesday, everyone. So, yeah. So, Eddie, you want to um, comment on the whole new topic that we have started today?
It's always a pleasure to sort of get the basics um, when we talk about the 5 steps to nirvana and understanding exactly how we accomplish that. And so, when you reiterated today the whole process, it just always um, awakens this sense in me that okay, now I need to go back to uh, start, to first base and start over again and do this the right way.
So,
Um,
so sorry, you know, interjecting here, but two things came to my mind. One is that the other Guru Maharaj's guru actually started him from the fourth realm. Then, 3 times he took him through this journey. Initially, it took him 3 years, then much lesser, and then much lesser in the third one. And the whole idea, I think, was that yes, you can be uplifted by somebody else's energy, but then when you try to walk through these things with your energy, you realize how difficult or what all comes through as hurdles and challenges and all that. Um, but for me, I love this model for a couple of reasons. One, it always makes me feel there's more to do, right? And uh, the second is that one, we are on a vertical climb. That's the only way you will break this horizontal moving in time approach, where people think that you are getting wiser with age, but without vertical climb, that's not going to happen. So, so those, what it makes me, so even for myself and for everyone else, I feel there's always more you can do in terms of getting at a higher state, right? And that should be our focus. That should be our goal. That should be, if we are doing something, we should measure our progress more in terms of where we are vertically on the climb to the top of the mountain, which is non-trivial. So sorry, I just felt I would interject there.
no, that's pretty much what I was thinking, and that's sort of the benefit I get from sitting in satsang and hear you teach again, and that is because the first time you hear the method that we should sit and quiet our minds, and that we're trying to achieve that state of peace, and the way we do that is by practicing satsang, of course, but is to get rid of the rising ripples that occur in our minds. And so you practice that and you think you're doing it, you feel like you're making progress, and then you sort of forget about what you're doing. And then in satsang, we hear you mention it again. You go, oh, okay, I need to go back to that. Now I need to uh, focus a little bit more and do it a little bit better. And then you start over again, and then you practice again, and you kind of forget about what you're doing, and you hear it again, and you go, okay, now I have to go back and do a better job at it. And it's just sort of this cyclical process of where you try it, um, and you start to do it, and you sort of forget about what you were doing, or I should say, you don't have the same amount of concentration you did in the beginning when you start the activity. It sort of fades away. Then you remind us of it, and now we put the will in, we do the concentration again on what we're doing, and we proceed a little bit further. And each time we do that, we go further and further. But it is this secular process that we go through, and that's part of reaching the top. It's not a straight climb. It's kind of, secular, um, round and around. We go back to where we were, but each time we go back to where we were, we're a little bit higher than we were the first time. And so that's really kind of what I was thinking about today. And I was like, okay, I can do this again. I'm gonna, start over again and refocus and concentrate a little bit better. And when I said meditation today, that's kind of what was on my mind when I started to meditate. It's like, okay, let's really get this done. Quiet my mind, focus on the light entering my heart, spreading throughout my entire body, and so forth and so on. And it just gets better and better. The practice, that is, each time we hear the message. I don't know what it is. It's just something rises up in you and makes you more powerful, makes you more dedicated. I don't know how to explain it, but it's real and it's there. And I guess that's probably one of the reasons why we have to continue to come to Satsang in person, and hear these messages for ourselves as opposed to reading it in a book.
Totally true. Yeah, talking about in person, I mean, when I go back to these in-person events in India, and hopefully we'll have a lot more in-person events in here in US. I'm thinking of doing one in Manchester, England, on the 27th or 28th. So yeah. So AC is saying I needed to hear that. So yeah, sometimes you see what I have found is that just that kind of reminded me that when I was talking about a few decades ago, when I used to read Guru Maharaj's books in Hindi, and there was a lot of repetition, and it's very, very, very simple language, simplified concepts. Even if you look at this process, it's like in relatively speaking, it's like as simplified as it gets. So simple but powerful. That's how I like to put it. So when I was reading these books, I would find in different contexts, a lot of repetition, a lot of things were like about ego, how it becomes a hurdle, how self-centeredness, and some of those downsides of yes, we should stand on our own feet, and so on and so forth, and we should have identity of ourselves, but without losing sight of we are here for a purpose. We are here for helping others. Helping others is nothing but helping yourself. And there are so many reasons why you need to realize, and not just realize, it's like it has to come as a piece of knowledge or experience that you are so intertwined with everybody else, and you're part of the consciousness or sea of consciousness that everybody is part of. So so he keeps on talking about the biggest frontier, the biggest challenge for you to become limitless, for you to become abundant with light, love, and peace, is your own concept or your own perception that you are limited. You are your body. You are your mind. You are way beyond that. So, as I have come to talk about these things, I suddenly find that, you can think about yourself as a bubble on the top of the ocean, or you could think about yourself as the ocean. The difference is, uh, when you are at the bottom of the pyramid, you are thinking about your identity as a bubble. And when you're at the top of the pyramid, you're thinking about yourself as the ocean itself. That's the difference in the perception. So, the reason he keeps talking about ego in so many different contexts, so many different books, so many different chapters, stories, and so on, and so on, and so on, is like the more we wrap ourselves up in the physical and materialistic existence only, we are just missing the whole point. So, yeah. So true. All right. On that note, I think Jeff, Steve, AC, Taru, any other thoughts, comments, questions in the chat, or otherwise, Anita ji, Onkar, Shivangi, Renu ji, please. So on that note, Eddie, anything else you want to add, or shall we wrap up?
Yes, we can go. We can wrap up with be the ocean. That's what we should want to become.
Totally. Ocean of peace. Namaskar, Anita ji. How are you? So
yeah, namaskar. Hello, everybody. Yeah, it's really very nice to hear you say all that. And after that, if I want to say something, it's like, okay, I'm just going to interfere with the good, good atmosphere. The whole vibe created is really very good. We have to be grateful to you, and I think we'll miss you if you cannot join the next few Tuesdays. But have a good trip.
thank you. Looking forward to it. Just the collective group, energy that's visible when there are thousands of people in meditation is, I wish I could describe that, because you have to experience it. You really have to. But even these sessions, I feel they're getting deeper and deeper, and I continue to strive towards bringing deeper content to it. Hopefully, we'll get there too. Namaskar.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have love, light, and peace be with you. And thanks, Steve. It was great to have you all here. Glad that we all were here in Satsang, and let's continue. Practice, and group sessions are, in a way, effortless ways to lift yourself up. So let's continue to help ourselves and others. So yeah, love, light, and peace be with you. Have a great week ahead. I'll be here next Saturday and coming Tuesday, and then we'll take it from there.
Namaste, bhaiya. And real test is when teacher is not there,
Yeah, I see the best part is that, there is no teacher concept, right? So the collective energy works, and you know, I like to see that I'm a facilitator of this experience that we all have, and hopefully we all can just get to that state where you know, each one is just lifting everyone else up. On that note, see you here soon. Take care.
Thank you, Sanjeev. Good night. Good night, everyone.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Good night.
Everyone.